So now we're gonna do the last piece. If you go to the image, it's pretty much this component of three things. It's usually it's very simple to do this one. First of all, let's turn off these guys. Control H, and we need to create a cylinder here. Go to Surface, Cylinder. E as in James as in rotating 15 to 90 degrees, and I know the scale, which is 0 point, I believe, 35, and I copy and paste this one in the Z value, and I know this has to be 0 0.5 because I want 1 inch unit W, and I move it out. That's the piece I've created, which is 0 0.35, 0.5, and 0.5 length, so I can place that pretty much touching this guy. I can Control D that guy, R, I press Control and the green guy, and you see I can, once again, it's two-dimensional scaling, and now I scale like this way without pressing Control, and W to put it here. We can see if that's so big. It's quite smaller, so we can press R again, and Control in this guy to make it smaller. Nice. W, Control D, take it over here. You can always snap this. I'm just doing this quite more rapidly, but you know, you get the idea. I'm going to select these three here, 1, 2, and 3 by pressing Control and group them, and I double click to say component, and I click 3 as in 3 units, so I can access them directly from here. We need to do this other piece here, right there, this guy. For that, we're gonna pretty much select all these guys, shift the first one last, so it selects everything like in Windows, as you know. Control H, and I'm gonna pretty much create a circle, curve, circle, E as in rotate, G as in James, rotate 90 degrees. I'm gonna go to the front view now to make this more carefully. F to zoom in, and what I'm gonna do is select this guy. I think it's 0 0.7, and the Z copy paste here, so it's 0 0.7. I select it. I go to the sweep, as you remember, 880, so it sweeps only 180 units, I mean length of total length of the surface. E for rotation, James, 90 degrees. What I'm going to do here is just, I should have brought the delete by type history into a shelf because I'm doing it all the time, but anyway, select this guy, Control D, James, and 180 degrees rotation, W to move, snap to the grid by pressing X, and we move it 1 unit. So now we need to do 2 CV curves here. CV curve tool, make sure that it's in linear, and snap into the curve, as you remember, to the end, 1 point, snap into the curve to the end, another curve. We create another CV curve, snap into the curve by pressing Z to the end, snap into the curve by pressing Z to the end, enter. Now you have to attach these guys. It could give you some problems in the sense of which one goes first and so and so. If we try all of them together and we say attach, and we go to the outliner, you see that it creates several things besides this guy, which is the result. We can always just check the result and say Control H, and there's remainings of the working lines that you can just pretty much drag into the working lines 3 to forget about them, and you can come here again, say Shift H to show it again. Now this one is important to delete type history. If not, if I try to move it, you see what happens. It records the history of the curve in the bottom, and this one follows. So we just need to edit delete by type history. So now it's the whole thing. Okay, now as you know, we need to do an extrusion. So CV curve, snap to the grid, 1 unit, select the profile, the path, shift path, and then extrude. Right click on the object, isoparm, create an isoparm here in the end and say surface planar, and again right click on the surface, isoparm, create an isoparm at the end, planar. There we have it. And again, it's compound of 3 different surfaces that we have to group them. We can call it component 1 or something, component one, and we probably want to select this guy here that we have created and then delete by type history. Send the other curves to the working lines. You never know if you need them in the future, so select this guy, and now yes, we can work with this guy freely and do whatever we want. Let's unhide the rest of the components here, Shift H, and we have this guy. Remember, you don't select here because you only select one surface, so you have to be more aware of selecting things here. And just make it I think it's thinner if you go to the image, thinner than this one for sure. Good, I think it's a good piece here. We make sure that it's actually touching it correctly. Good, you can always snap to that, but it's, for me it seems like a little big, and the axis there, so we can actually, it's just scale it by pressing Control here and making it smaller. And I think even a little bit more. Probably did it too big. So that's good. So it worked now. So now we have these guys and these guys. So we can select this fellow. We know that this guy is repeated here. So I'm gonna first select this middle piece. Control D, W, take it out, take it up. Make sure that it's in the axis. It doesn't have any rings in the side, so it's fine. And now we have to copy this guy, which is this component. Be careful to select it here once again. Control D, take it here. Make sure that it's touching. Good. And now we need these three components, which is this component 3. Control D. And up. The component 3 has that one, so we have to Control select this guy, or come here and select 3 that we want, which is the first 3. Well, let me see if I duplicate it first, so just be careful, go back. There we go. So now if this is only one component, that we have to select the 3 first, Control D, put it in there, and we can drag it in here. Good. So now it's a matter of grouping stuff. We know that this is kind of like a complete piece, so we can select these 3, Control and Control group, and sorry, these 2, call them P's. 5, no? So now we can select the whole thing by pressing here, simple way, and Control D to put it over here. Making sure that that's correct. Okay, I think there's some kind of little thing that's like floating there, so I'm gonna just take this guy, Control D the guy, and put it here and make it bigger. Sorry, not in Control, and this guy. Probably want to go to the front view, put it in the center of that axis, and then scale it. So it's a little bit smaller than that. So it has a nice detail. Okay, perspective. And probably want to scale it this direction and move it so it's center here. So we have that nice detail. Okay, I think it's fine. Now imagine this could very easily now rotate these 2 pieces, so this one follows, and we can create each of these modules by repetition. For now, what I'm going to do is simple as just selecting the first pieces and these ones, which is piece 6, I believe. Great. And 4, 3, 2, and 1, and Control D, and take it over here. Place it. Of course, this is not exact. I'm going to leave it here, but you can imagine that this is more of a symmetric. This one rotation, and this axis follows the other one. But now everything's constructed out of circles, so it should be like easy. I think we surrender this guy, and I think the next little tutorial will be about rendering this in a different way as usual.